Morning, good morning. Happy Sunday, guys. Week 14 is here. Feel good today. I feel really good. I have like a couple of games a lot. I like Maryland a lot. I'm going to start with that. Maryland plays Purdue at noon. They're getting 4 points. I think it's great value. Purdue's not good. They're a middle of the road team. I know they have a high ranking, but they just don't know exactly what their identity is without Edie. Braden Smith, their point guard. It's going to be a good matchup for Maryland. They're going to be able to pressure him, get after him. They're still figuring out the rotation. Purdue is their identity. Maryland's. I think they're just really a better team. I think the spread indicates that it's a 4 point spread. Purdue's what eight or ninth, depending on where you're looking. They lost to Penn State earlier in the week on the road, and I don't think that was a blip. I think that was more of a indicative of what Maryland can do to them. Maryland is ferocious on defense. They really, really get after it. Purdue struggled with ball pressure last year when they had Edie to help, take the defense away from it. I think Maryland's going to roll today. I like Maryland outright. So start with that. The Wisconsin game yesterday was a split for me. Thankfully, I had their over with the team points. They just couldn't keep up at the end. Marquette really got hot in the second half. It happens. Wisconsin looked good in the first half, up by two. Felt great about that. One little tidbit. I'm going to do a lot more college basketball, but one of the things that is a lot different from college basketball than the NBA is if that favorite is down at halftime, or if it's a close game and you get good lines to hedge it, it pays off a lot there's a lot of comebacks in the second half is what I'm trying to say in college basketball. Whereas the NBA, what most people don't necessarily realize is whoever wins that first quarter wins a really high percentage of the time. A lot of NBA teams will quit in the second half, so you can like really chase money and lose it betting on NBA teams in the second half. Whereas college basketball, I didn't pull the trigger with Wisconsin yesterday. I really thought about it too. It's like, man, I don't know if they can keep up the pace. Instead, Marquette just rolled them. So anyway, that was 1-1 yesterday. Ready to roll with the NFL today. Feel really good. There's one game early I like, one game late I like. So I'm going to start with the game early I like the most, and then we'll work through the rest of them. It's Tampa. If I don't want to jinx anything, but the team that I've been the most right about so far this year has been Tampa. I was on them when they beat Philly. I was on them. Was it a week ago when they destroyed the Giants coming off the bye? I knew to stay away from them last week. I knew that was going to be a tight game with Carolina. I think they just absolutely rolled the Raiders today. 6.5 point spread. The Raiders have nothing to play for. There is no, we're still mathematically alive speech. They obviously know they're getting a new coach and a new quarterback. They played the best they possibly could play on defense last week against the Chiefs on Black Friday. I think they have no juice for this game. It'll be hot, and Tampa should just be able to roll them. Bucky Irvin's going to play. Bucks are really good. I like the Bucks. If you want to bet on the Bucks and win the division, I would do it this week because I think they'll be in first place when we wake up tomorrow. They lose the tiebreaker with the Falcons, but they're tied right this second, and they still have a pretty soft schedule. They got to play the Chargers, but they get the Panthers, I believe, at the end. Anyway, I just think the Falcons lose today and the Bucks win. So Bucks 6.5 against the Raiders. I just don't see a pathway for the Raiders to hang. I'm not sure. Maybe the Raiders. I don't think I'll do like the team total because maybe the Raiders get a backdoor touchdown or two. But I think if that's the case, they'll be down by 20 points. Todd Bowles against young quarterbacks. It's a nightmare. So give me the Bucks. That's my first game. Falcons. We'll go with that one. The Falcons at the Vikings. Falcons, I think, are cooked. I know it's a popular pick here. Cousins is going back to Minnesota. Can the Vikings just keep winning the way that they're winning? My answer is yes. This is a lot different than the team from a couple of years ago. They're just so much better on defense. So that's why they're in these games. And Darnold, I think Daniel Jones being there helps Darnold, gives them a little bit more of a push. Still figuring it out offensively, the Vikings are. Like they had to come back and win last week against Arizona. They struggled for most of the game. Whether or not they cover the 6 points, I would put the Vikings in the teaser today. I think that's a better bet. I'd bet the under on the team points for the Falcons. Probably not going to be a high number, so I'll look at it and double check it. But yeah, Kirk Cousins and the Falcons just don't have an identity. I don't know what they're doing. They were really bad against the Chargers. That defense came off the bye and played as well as they could after getting shellacked by the Broncos. They really limited the Chargers, and the Falcons just let them down. think the Vikings are going to roll them. So I got the Vikings. I probably like the Vikings just minus the 6. This one I don't want to give the points. The Saints -5, even though I think they'll cover. So I would bet the Saints if you made me choose, but just a stay away game. The Saints mathematically alive. Well, really, they're only 2 games out of the division, so and they get to play each team, so they can convince themselves they're still in it. But Derek Carr in the cold outside, I don't know. The Giants are so bad. I actually hope the Giants win this game. I'm sure Ravens fans agree with that. That way they're I don't want to say momentum, but I don't want the Giants to get killed this week. I don't need them to keep getting embarrassed and embarrassed before we play them. I think we'll kill them next week. This one feels like, maybe the Saints just win 24-10, but at the end of the day, it's Derek Carr. He could screw it up. Giants get after the quarterback, so I would just stay away from it. It's also a stay away is the Jags and the Titans. Although I do like the Jags offense to be better than I think people are going to expect. So I'd probably take the over with the Jags points. I don't know if I'll have the courage to bet it. I'll double check and see what that number is. It's going to be a small number. And I just think the Jags are going to let it loose. Doug Peterson has got to prove something if he wants to stay in football relevancy because he's going to get fired. I think he'd like to show that the offense can do something, and maybe it's a little bit on Trevor Lawrence not running the offense the way he would like. Mac Jones was decent in the second half. The Titans are a hot mess. They're liable to turn over a couple times anyway. So I don't know how you give 3.5 points with the Titans. If you want to do that, good for you. But I have better things to do than bet on the Titans as a favorite. So stay away from that. I hope the Browns win. Browns are on my shit list at the moment. Excuse my Sunday morning language. But man, I lost. The Browns really screwed me. They couldn't stop Bo Nix at the very end. Then Winston throws the pick six. I thought the Browns were going to win that game. They had it. That would have been one of my best picks of the year. Now they got to go to Pittsburgh where they beat them last time, and Pittsburgh's pissed off. Plus, Pittsburgh is rolling. I don't know how Cleveland wins. I hope they win, but I doubt they do. Ravens look like that division's slipping away. It'd be really nice if Cleveland could find a way to win that game. The Eagles are they going to destroy the Panthers? You would think. This is one of those where you can't really make the argument on why the Panthers should hang in this game because they can't stop the run. And if you can't stop the run at Philadelphia, I don't know how that's why they're a 14-point underdog. I don't have a strong opinion on it, but it just feels like Bryce Young, not feels like he is just playing well. And he either gets humbled and they get destroyed, or it's a really, really tight game. You can't get up for every game. It could be a letdown for the Eagles. They play Pittsburgh next week. So it's 14 points. I hate the Eagles. I'm not going to get 14 points, but yeah, they can't stop the run, Carolina. So be careful. Barkley could run for 1 million. Fantasy wise, that feels like a high scoring game. I feel like the Panthers are going to open it up. They know they can't just run the ball against Philadelphia. So hopefully they'll throw the ball and maybe make some progress there. But looks like that Eagles division bet, me having the Commanders, is out the window. Jets Dolphins feels weird. Feels like Jets are going to win this game because the Dolphins just keep screwing things up. The Dolphins are one of the last teams that can say, hey, if we win out, we're going to make the playoffs. 5-7 in the AFC, 10-7 probably get you there, at least get you in a tie-breaking situation. So they can run the table, but I don't know. Jets are going to play with nothing to lose. What does that look like? I really have absolutely no idea. The Jets I cannot figure out. I'm glad the Seahawks beat them last week, but I still lost my Jets under bet. Everything I touch with the Jets doesn't work, so I'll stay away from that. 4:00, I'll save my favorite game for the end. But Seahawks Cardinals. I know everybody wants to jump on the Cardinals here. Spreads 3, 2.5, depending on where you're looking. Cardinals are reeling. They lost 2 straight. One of them was to Seattle, then the other one Minnesota. Both heartbreaking losses. I think the Cardinals are running out of gas, and the Seahawks are rolling. The Seahawks, I had them before the season. This is a big, big game for the Seattle Seahawks. They don't have – it's not that they're playing with nothing to lose. That's not the right way to phrase it, but they're playing much freer than Arizona. Arizona's home, 6-6, lost 2 in a row, have to win this game. Seattle loses this game. They're still tied for the division lead. So I think they play free. I think they jump on the Cardinals, and it could get ugly. I think Seattle wins this game going away. I don't love it enough to bet on it as much. I might talk myself into it. It's just I have so much bets on Seattle that I don't necessarily need the extra juice on that game. The Bills Rams, I don't know what to expect in this game. Last time these guys played each other, what was it, opening night after the Rams Super Bowl year on Thursday night, Buffalo just killed them, absolutely killed them. I know a lot of people like the Rams in this spot. The Rams are in that Dolphins category. I think where people liked them before the year, myself included. It's like, hey, if they win out, they could make a run. Do they win out starting this week? Then they got the Niners on Thursday. It's not a home game. There's more Bills fans in LA than there is Rams fans. If you made any money in Buffalo, I'm assuming you moved somewhere like LA. I don't know. That's not nice to say, but most people that I think there's more Bills fans than Rams fans. My point is that there's no home field advantage. The number's 49 and a half. That feels small. Feels like both teams are going to throw the ball. I don't know. The Rams' run defense has been much improved, or I think better than expected without Donald. They really shut down the Saints last week. They were pretty solid against the Lions on opening week, considering how the Lions have been running on other teams. So I think the Bills are going to come out and kind of spread them out, let Allen cook. And then the other way, the Rams just have to keep scoring if they want to have any chance. So I like the over in that game, but really unexpected. Not sure. Bills, if they could be the best team. The Rams, they could win the NFC. So I'm curious to see how this game plays out. It's the Niners game that I like the most. I can't figure out why the line keeps going the other way, but I don't really care. I like the Niners. I like them a lot. I more so because I'm fading the Bears. They want to keep scapegoating Caleb Williams, and I'm fading Caleb Williams today, big time. At San Francisco, Bears got nothing to play for. Niners are not dead. They're 5-7. They're going to win this game. Then they're going to play the Rams on Thursday. The line's down to 3. It was at 5. I believe it was 5 to start the week. I don't know why it's going the other way. I know the Niners are costing people a ton of money because they keep losing and not covering, even if they're winning like they did in Tampa. So it's been a shit show for the Niners. But that game last week doesn't count. It was just a snowstorm. It's Buffalo. I just think the Bears suck. I think Caleb Williams sucks, and they're going all the way on the West Coast. I just think that the Niners roll. I think they'll be able to run the football. And I still think Purdy's good. So the Niners is my favorite game outside of Tampa today. Those are my two, I would say my two games that I like the absolute most. There's a few others that I like. So I have all my bets out. Chiefs Chargers should be really interesting tonight. Chiefs are going to go with another left tackle. What's his face? DJ Humphries. I know he's not very good at Madden. I don't know much else about him, but he can't be that good if that's who they're going to at the end of the year. The Chiefs can't block for Patrick Mahomes, and they lost the Super Bowl this way. They got away with it the past couple of years without really improving it. Just basically got away with it, is the best way of saying it. I don't know if they get away with it this time. The Bills are really good. The Ravens are still there. The Steelers are good. To win 3 straight games like that and then win the Super Bowl, it's really hard. And they better get the 1 seed. So I know they're going to play really hard tonight. The Chargers, I think the Chargers lose tonight. Be careful about them not making the playoffs because they get Tampa the following week. And all of a sudden, somebody's not making it in the AFC that's already plugged in. I pray that my Colts are going to catch the Broncos. They play next week. But I don't know. Something's a little wrong with the Chargers. They were lucky to beat the Falcons last week. I know their defense stepped up, but I thought that was just more like Kirk Cousins was terrible. I'll be curious to see if they win this game. Chargers usually play well in prime time. Harbaugh had them last time. They were up 10-0, and then they let them go. So the Chiefs are home. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I'll think about that more as the day goes on. Hopefully I'm up money. Then I'll feel better about betting on those games. So, yeah, I like Maryland this afternoon. That's at noon. And yeah, the games at 1, I don't think are as great as the games at 4. You get 3 good games. Well, the Niners should kill the Bears, but then you get Seahawks, Cardinals, and the Bills and the Rams. Hopefully the Browns win. Good luck with all your bets. I shall see you guys in the morning. All right. See ya.